Hi guys, welcome to the month of June. I'm going to talk about some of the astrological important aspects that are going on right now and connections and relations. I'm not going to cover them all because it's obviously too many, but there's a lot happening in June. So how I'm going to manage this is I'm going to talk about the date of when it is, a little bit about what it is, and I'm going to pull a few cards to how we can navigate this to our highest good, for our growth, for our personal growth, and our collective growth. So let's just get into the energy. So June, as I say, is a busy month, middle of the month, and the energy I was feeling was it's all about a check-in point, halfway, how much we've grown, but also what we want to bring in. There's been a lot of new planets moving, which is quite rare. A lot of big planets that have 14-year cycles, 30-year cycles, all shifting into brand new cycles. So we're in a brand new version of ourselves in June, and it wants us to check in. I've already recorded the full moon, which is really relevant, about karmic, releasing some karmic energy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the full moon here, but not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to repeat myself. So anybody interested in the full moon reading, I'll link it in the description box below. So how I'm going to do this, I've pulled an overall energy, which is this guy here, which is very Saturn and Aries for me, and I'll speak about that in a moment. We're in a big Saturn and Aries brand new 30-year cycle to bring some discipline to the world. A very intuitive, interesting message that I got with this one, and I'll share that with you in a moment. So that's the overall energy I was feeling I needed to share with you in regards to June, and it being the solstice, which is about the sun, honouring the sun. There's a lot of solar activity going on with the sun right now that's affecting the planet, which is affecting earthquakes and a lot of earthly movement, but it's also affecting our solar plexus, which is our power. Interesting. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the energies, and I will put the link in the description box below to timestamp these so we know when you come back to it, because there's a lot of information to take on. So what I'm going to do, whilst I'm talking to you now, I'm going to shuffle this deck on camera so you can see. Then I'm just going to plonk them down on my desk. I know you trust me. So I'm just going to plonk them on my desk, and then I'm just going to pick one card from my tarot to coincide with the date and the planetary movement, and I'm going to pull one oracle card as well. So we're going to get two cards for each aspect, each shift, because it all takes on a different energy and what it's trying to show us and what we're trying to navigate with the energies. Okay, so the first protocol I want to go to is this guy here. I mentioned him. This is the overall theme I feel for June, the sun god Ra. Now, it's very much, when I tapped into his energy, it's very, well, it says order. Sun god Ra, it's the masculine. Sun represents the masculine, and the moon represents the feminine. We need them both, whether man or woman, we need them both on this earth to co-create together in a balanced way. So he's coming in, I feel, and I wanted to take this collectively for what's going on in the solar, with the solar energy right now, a heightened activity going on in the solar activity. And I believe it's since Saturn's gone into Aries, which is a fire sign. It's a masculine. It's starting a brand new 30-year cycle. So fire can destruct, but fire can drive. It can burn away what needs to be cleansed. And I feel like this is what it's doing right now. A lot of eruptions to go of the lower vibrations of Earth to make way for the new vibration. Everything's a vibration. So that was me tapping into that. Now, this guy here, sun god Ra. So this is Thoth in Egyptian. Is it Thoth? No, it's not. I don't know. I'm getting confused. But the sun god Ra, Thoth is coming in, and he was very philosophical. I think he was associated with Mercury as well. Anyway, I'm digressing, but this is a very powerful man. Masculine energy, a god, the sun god, which comes and it gives us our power. Now he's surrounded by the pyramids. The sun is either setting or rising, we don't know at this point, but he wants to bring in some discipline, some order. And when Saturn is in Aries, we are now in a brand new cycle, as I've mentioned. Aries is about leadership, a masculine a masculine leadership. And we have been under a very strong, controlling masculine energy, societally, in our lifetime for thousands of years. So this is the patriarchal energies where it's been a very strong masculine. Whether you're a man or a woman, we've been in a heavy, strong masculine. I'm not putting this down to gender. So this is saying it's time now to bring on a different energy, a more compassionate masculine, a more, not the war god, ego war god, Aries, as it used to be. It's a more compassionate Aries energy, a more compassionate leader, to bring in balance with the masculine and the feminine on our planet. So we can get rid of war, we can get rid of conflict. Now, wouldn't that be beautiful? But this has to start within us. So he's coming in, so I'm bringing it down to us on a personal level now. He's coming in to say, let's make peace. Let's make peace with ourselves. Let's make peace with our past. Let's bring some balance and order into a situation. Let it go so you can now create a new beginning. And then I pulled this card here, which is joy. So this is more of the feminine, that's more the masculine. So it wants to lead, to be more disciplined. Yes, we need discipline and structure and order, and masculine, which is the action. It wants to move forward. The feminine creates. So she wants to create more joy and fun. You can't create joy from fear. You can't create joy from conflict. So now they want to come together and be more disciplined with the masculine and the feminine and lead. Aries is the leader, Saturn in Aries, with joy. Bringing more joy to the earth, to the world, to your solar plexus. So it's reclaiming a part of you that's been missing for a long time. So that's on a personal level and a collective. So let's get into the astrology now. So I'm starting off with a big energy of talking about the feminine creativity of Venus. 6th of June, we have Venus, the planet of beauty, the planet of abundance, money, joy, happiness, pleasure, creativity, all in beautiful things. The Empress. She's flipping from Aries. She's been in and out of Aries and Pisces for a long time, since last autumn. She didn't particularly like it in those masculine energies. She didn't like it in... She likes it in Pisces. I'm going back to the Pisces energy. She feels comfortable because it's water, it's emotion, it's our energy. But it was a difficult Pisces energy because it was the end of a cycle. We had Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn's just finished a 30-year cycle, as I've mentioned here. He ended that cycle in Pisces, as all the planets do. Then it starts a brand new beginning in Aries. It starts off the zodiac sign in Aries. So normally she would feel happy in Pisces, Venus. So she's been dipping in and out of Venus, into Pisces, into Aries, which she certainly doesn't like being in because that's the masculine war god. And she's been doing a lot of internal work. She's been doing a lot of letting go. She's been doing a lot of dissolving old wounds where she was powerless. And now Venus has finished that big cycle and she's tired. She's absolutely exhausted. So if you're feeling exhausted right now, I'm recording this on the 3rd. She doesn't shift till the 6th. So she's still got a few days left. And I always say the more you get towards the end of a cycle, it ramps up. So if you're feeling tired and you're thinking that, all you want is some joy, fun and pleasure in your world and you haven't got it yet, help is coming. 6th of June, she's going into Taurus. She rules Taurus. She's going to feel grounded. She's going to feel at home. So let's pull a card, and it is the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is an earth energy. So she's happy here. She's happy here, Venus, because she's in the sign of Taurus. She rules Taurus. Taurus is about money, abundance, joy, happiness, safety. She's come home. Now, Venus is saying, okay, while I've been gone doing a self-discovery of who I am, while I've been in them challenging aspects of Aries, finishing off cycles, what have I learned? I've learned about my self-worth and I've learned about my value. So she's changed. Venus has changed. She now knows her worth and her value. So she's now contemplating. She's going to make a decision. On the 6th of June, she's going to make a decision of where she wants to go, what she wants to do, and who she wants to be around that match her new frequency, her new self-worth, identity. Let's pull an oracle card for this. Strength. It's going to take strength. Whilst Venus is in Taurus, she's going to have to make changes. Because here is the solar plexus. We've been speaking about the sun, our confidence. She's gained a lot of knowledge about her self-identity, her power. And she's now tamed that inner lion. She's tamed that competitive energy, that fearful energy of, I need to tame my masculine and I need him on board to be more loving, more affectionate. Remember, this is within you, your masculine, your feminine, but it could be in external relationships because Venus rules that. She's ready for some loving. She's ready for some softness. She's tired of this fighting. She's tired of this, if you think about the lion in the jungle, circling her cubs from the predators. She's mastered that now. She's let go of the fear. And she's ready to bring in. She knows her worth and her value. So whilst Venus is in Taurus, she's going to think about where she's given her power away or where she has given her power away. And she's going to focus more on her creativity, the pleasurable things in life. And because she's let go of the lack. Is it serving me? And if it's not, she's not interested. She's had a long stint in Aries, looking at her self-identity wounds. She's had enough of that now. So look out for Venus in rebirthing into a new self-worth and self-value within you. Your Venus is your receptive energy, where you are in abundant energy, not in a lack. So that's the energy for the 6th of June. June the 8th, we have Mercury having a relationship with Jupiter. Now, the sun's in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. So it's a very heady energy right now. We're in a very heady, up until about the 19th, 20th of June, we are in, the sun's in Gemini, our mind. So this is where the power is right now. Now, it can be overstimulating, so we're needing to ground this energy. And we can talk ourselves in and talk ourselves out of it with Gemini. So be mindful of the thoughts that you were going through. But remember, Venus has been doing her self-identity wounds. She now knows she's good enough. So she'd be telling herself, nah, I'm good enough now. I'm good enough for abundance. I'm good enough for joy. So all the planets have a connection with one another. So they will all interlace with one another this month. Well, every month. So on June the 8th, Mercury's giving you a final message. He's finishing off a 12-month cycle where he's been riding round the zodiac cycle in the sign of Jupiter, expansion and growth. So whilst he's been there, where have you learned where your thoughts have carried you away in a fear or a lack mentality? It's now, there's a final message. It's taught you something. So on the 8th of June, you're going to have a final message. So be open to receive that. Remember, Venus is a receptive energy. It's your feminine. Find some time to listen to your body, to what you want to receive now, what you're ready to receive now, because Jupiter has a little message for you as he leaves the sign of Gemini before he enters the sign of Cancer for the next 12 months. Jupiter has a 12-month cycle. So it takes 12 years for him to go around the full zodiac. So he's dipping his toes into Cancer, which is home, children, family. He's going to expand and bless the home, children and family. But before he gets there, he's got a final message for you. So let's see what the cards are saying. So Jupiter, Mercury, what do we have to say? Strength. Leo energy. And what's the oracle? Goddess of the moon. Wow. You've learned to trust your intuition. Oh, it's teaching you, well done, but trusting your intuition rather than listening to your mind. Because if some of you had listened to your mind, or you might have done at the beginning of this cycle, but while Jupiter's been in that 12-month cycle, you'd have gone stir crazy. You might even thought you were going mad. but really you've developed some kind of spiritual connection to yourself and trusted the messages that were coming in were for your highest self and where they were coming from your ego. This is where you've tamed the lion. The lion in tarot is associated with, or the lion in astrology is associated with Leo. Leo is, on a higher expression, it is pride. It is confidence. But when it's in a lower expression, where we've got any wounds around our heart, our self-identity, it can be defensiveness. It can keep itself very reactive. I'm not trusting, very stubborn energy. Leo is a fixed energy. So it's where you learn to trust spirit, if you want to, meditation, your inner self, your body, what it was telling you. This might be what Mercury's coming in to say. Well done. You've transformed. You've tamed your inner lion, your old ego-based thoughts, your defensiveness, your reactivity, and you've trusted your feminine energy, the moon, your emotions, your heart. Wow, so big Leo energy coming up in them too. Just the first beginning of June. Again, that's the solar plexus. It's your confidence. It's your power. It's the sun. Link into the order. And I feel like, so Saturn in Aries, he rewards. Saturn teaches you harsh lessons, but if you've been disciplined enough to figure out who you are, not who society have you led to believe, control, this is where the rewards are coming in. But in order for her to find out who you are, you've got to listen to yourself, your intuition, go within. This is where the joy is. You can't find joy in this world if you listen to the TV, the news, social media. There's no joy there, it's just fear. Okay guys, June the 11th, full moon. Full moon in Sag, ruled by Jupiter, planet of good luck, good fortune, auspicious moon. Already recorded a bigger version of this, so I'm not going to go on too much. I will pull some cards, but he's bringing in blessings. He's bringing in some expansion, some growth. So you're going to feel like this new chapter's here. So let's see what it has to say. The Hanged Man, Neptune, and we have a contract. Okay. Karmic contract. Balancing the scales of justice. This full moon is bringing in something that you needed to see and learn about yourself. Now I do go on, again, I'm not going to go on too much, but this is bringing in some kind of be the bigger picture, looking at the higher perspective. Focus on the joy, focus on the future, focus on what you want in your life now. Now that you know your worth, your value, and whilst Venus has been off doing a thing in Aries and Pisces, dissolving some old wounds, focus on that with this full moon and you're going to feel it. Because there is some challenging aspects this month, and I'll talk about them in a moment. But this is saying if you can focus on your new karmic contract, what your soul desires, what your soul wants and needs, you've gained some wisdom. Jupiter is about wisdom, it's about philosophy. It's the wise sage. Now here we have gained some wisdom and knowledge with this full moon. Again, I'll put the link in the description, guys. Some karmic balance coming in. Well done. Now we go on to the challenging bits. Don't fear these. It's a heads up. It wants to make you grow. Keep focused on that bigger picture. Jupiter, what you want in your life, not what has been. In order for that to come in, we've got to let go of the past, the karmic past. This is where Saturn is. Saturn is Father Time. Saturn is karmic timing. So between June the 14th and the 19th-ish, give or take days, we're already feeling it, but it's going to come to a peak. And this is going to last for a couple of months, but June, July is going to be a very release in the old, but it's at his peak this week, and I feel it's correlated with this full moon. It wants to give you a taste of what's coming in, auspicious, good luck, good fortune. So it wants you to hang on to that rather than what it's bringing in to be released, because it might be going back over some old things, but it's only all things to make way for bigger expansion. Jupiter expands of what's coming in. So the challenging aspects, so we're going to have Saturn squaring. Now any kind of square in the sky, so it's when planets go into a is it 180 degrees, forgive me, angle. So they call it a square. So if you think about a square, it's tension between planets. So there's a square between Saturn and Jupiter first. Then a couple of days later, it squares Neptune. Jupiter squares Neptune. So we've got Neptune and Saturn squaring the good luck and good fortune Jupiter. So this Saturn restricts and Neptune brings out illusion. And Gemini wants to expand good luck, good fortune. So this is exactly what I was saying. Before we can get that expansion and growth, Saturn's saying there's something you've got to look at and let go, karmic past. And Saturn and Neptune is the illusions. What fears, illusions around people, places and things are you needing to see? So let's see what the energy is. So I'm going to bundle this in 14th to the 19th. What's this energy from Saturn, Neptune, squaring Jupiter? Information coming in. And it's going to open a door to personal healing and happiness, because that's where the growth is. That's where there's Jupiter there. Peace, the dove of peace, the rainbow, it's opening the doors, but you're going to get some communication to allow those doors to open. Now this says door to personal healing and happiness. So don't see it as a negative. It might feel a little bit challenging, but going to remember what's ahead. Jupiter is the centaur with the arrow, the bow and arrow. Be the bigger picture person. See this just as a temporary measure. It's not going to last long, this intense energy for the next few days, week or so. It's going to move on. It's just clearing the path to open this rainbow for you. I'm going to pull another one just because I'm nosy. 2 nights. This is coming in quick. So we've got air, the wand, the sword, and we've got fire. Very fast. This is going to come in very fast. And I also, in the full moon reading, pulled in expect the unexpected. And what I was feeling, because you've healed some big wounds, something from the past might be coming in to close out, to make room for this new version, this new expansion in your new 30-year cycle. And you're going to be surprised. A lot of you are going to be surprised how this information comes in and how it plays out and how you're going to react to it or not. But we've got Aries and Saturn, which are very disciplinarian. It's very standing in your power. So then we have, round about the 19th, 20th, the sun, the essence of who we are, moving from that mind, that ego energy, that chatter, that fast energy, into the sign of Cancer. Home, children, family. Now, on the 9th of, actually I didn't put in that, that's what I've missed. Okay, it's bringing me in, so I'm going to link these two together. So I forgot to put in, Jupiter's going into Cancer. Now, if you remember the June the 8th, Mercury is going to come in and say, here's a message from what you've learned. Then the next day after the 9th, Jupiter goes into Cancer, water, from the mind into air. So these are very much similar. Then a few days later, the sun's going to enter Cancer. So I'll pull them two energies. So Jupiter is entering a water sign, emotions, Cancer, home, children, family, along with the sun. So I'm going to pull 2 cards for this. The moon in Cancer, wow. And care and connections. Okay. Home, children, family are going to be top priority for this energy. The sun's going to illuminate something to do with an old emotional wound. What you didn't see, that's been reflected in a care and connection. Now, a care and connection can be partnerships, but it also can be our tribe. Cancer is about our tribe, who we feel safe with and who we don't. That might be coming up with this Cancer energy, the sun entering Cancer, and the Jupiter entering Cancer. Then the new moon on the 25th, whilst we're at it, because this is where the new moon is, in the sign of Cancer. So this is moon in Cancer. So I think I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay and amalgamate the sun going into Cancer, Jupiter going into Cancer, then we have the moon going into Cancer, all at the back end. Certainly the sun and the moon going into Cancer. I will do a separate video for the moon, But this Cancer energy is going to be big, guys, in our care and connections. Let's just stay with that energy. Now, daughter spirit was at the bottom there. Let me just go into the sun entering Cancer on the 19th, 20th. Give me more information, because this is a very big energy. 5th chakra, communication. Walking away. Yeah, it's just reiterating. And here we have yin and yang balance. It's reiterating what I was saying. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm not going to communicate. Yeah, communication is going to be key. I'm going to go back to the full moon in Sagittarius. Have faith that what's coming in, nobody's going to take it from you. But in order for that energy to come in, some of the old needs to go. And this is how you communicate to yourself and to others. But you're walking away. Something is done. And it's about the throat chakra, where you have not been seen, heard, or recognized. Now I'm 26 minutes in. Shall I just go to the 30-minute mark with this, guys? Sorry for the confusion, but I'm leaving this video up. There was a reason why I left that June the 9th out, that Jupiter entering Cancer. So that might be a relevant date, the 9th of June. But remember, we're in the sign of no, we're not. We're in the sign of Gemini, which is confusion. Too much in your head. 3 of Cups, Mercury in Cancer. You can't write this. The devil. Breaking free from the devil. This is Capricorn energy. I'm not saying all Capricorns are devils. This can indicate some old control dynamics to do with relationships, with feminine. These are 3 women. Venus. Mother line. Cancer is the womb. Cancer represents mother. Capricorn represents the father. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, where Aries is starting a brand new cycle. So there's some clearing coming in, and you're going to get some kind of communication. How you communicate, how you react, but also what comes in. It's different now. It's different. It's going to liberate you, and it's going to make room for this auspicious new beginning and blessings. Happy June. Take good care.